Krishna, that is a 3-page notice. In the last page, you people will get your batch 1820, 1721, and 1923. All the notices I have merged and sent it. So in the last page, you will get your schedule for the internal exam. It is on 14th, 15th, and 16th June. Just go to page number 3 in the notice. Okay. So we will start with this project estimation techniques. We were studying about it in the last class. So in the last class, we have studied a little bit about the method empirical estimation technique. So this method, we have studied the introductory part. What is this method and all? So empirical estimation technique, as the name estimation, it suggests that it is based on a educated guess of the project parameters, and these guess the analysts can do because they had some prior experience with development of similar products. Okay, so two popular techniques are there that is under this empirical estimation. One is the expert judgment and another is the Delphi technique. Next, we started learning the heuristic technique. So this heuristic technique, we have studied that it assumed that some relationship it exists among the different project parameters, and these relationships, they can be modeled using some mathematical expression. So once we have the basic parameters known to us, so once we have the basic parameters known to us, we can calculate the values of other parameters, that is the parameters which are dependent on these basic parameters, by substituting the values of these basic parameters in different mathematical expressions. So two broad categories were there under this heuristic technique. One is the single variable approach and another one is the multivariable approach. So single variable approach, which we started learning the last day. So this single variable approach, it assumed that the various project characteristics, they can be predicted based on a single previously estimated basic characteristics of the software. It can be size also. So it assumes that the estimated parameter is equal to C1 into E to the power D1, where these D1 and C1, these are constants, and E represents the characteristics of the software that has already been estimated, that is a basic variable characteristics. So this estimated parameter is the dependent parameter. So dependent parameter could be anything. It can be effort, it can be project duration, it can be staff size, anything. So the values of the constant C and C1, D1, these are usually determined using some data which is collected from the several past projects. So a famous model which is an example of this single variable model which we discussed is the COCOMO model. Fine. So up to this we have learned in the last class. Okay. So today we will start from this multivariable heuristic technique. So this multivariable heuristic estimation model, it assumes that a parameter can be predicted based on the values of more than one basic parameters. So in single variable, it was based on the concept of a single parameter. In multiple variable, it is based on the concept of more than one parameters. So if I want to find the estimated parameter formula, then the formula will be C1 into P1 to the power D1 plus C2 into P2 to the power D2 plus C3 into P3 to the power D3, like this, so on. So here this P1, P2, P3, these are the basic characteristics of a software which is already estimated, and this C1, C2, D1, D2, these are the constants. So multivariable estimation model is expected to give obviously more accurate estimation. So it will give more accurate estimation in comparison to a single variable model, because a project parameter is influenced or can be influenced by several basic parameters. So one project parameter, it can be influenced by several independent project parameters. So if I use this formula, that is if I use the multivariable approach, so obviously it will give me a more accurate result. So the independent parameters or the basic parameters like the P1, P2, P3 and so on, they influence the dependent parameters. So these are the things which we are calculating, and different sets of constants are there: C1, D1, C2, D2, C3, D3. So values of these constants again are usually determined from the analysis of historical previous data. So one example of this multivariable estimation model is the intermediate COCOMO model. So COCOMO model and intermediate COCOMO model are different. So multivariable example is intermediate COCOMO model, and single variable exam is COCOMO model. Okay. So this was the brief about the project estimation techniques. One was empirical, second one was heuristic. Now we will study about brief about the concept of analytical estimation technique. Three techniques for project estimation was there. So two, we studied the introductory part. Next is this analytical estimation technique. Now this analytical estimation technique, they derive the required result starting with certain basic assumption regarding a project. Okay. So unlike this empirical and heuristic techniques which we learned, analytical techniques, they have certain scientific basis. So we will discuss these things. So what happens is, this technique, it starts with a few simple assumptions which are derived from some result, and which will derive some result, interesting result. So it will estimate, or it will take into account the software maintenance effort also. So this analytical estimation technique, there is a famous technique which we will learn, Halstead's software technique. So this analytical estimation technique, since it is based on certain scientific assumptions and not just data analysis and all, so it outpasses or it surpasses both the previous two techniques which we have uh, studied so far. So it outperforms both the empirical and the heuristic technique, because it also takes into account the software maintenance effort. Okay. So this was the basic about the three estimation techniques. Now we will slowly enter one by one into the techniques. So we already have pointed out that empirical estimation technique over the years, this has been somewhat formalized to a certain extent, and even if they are based on pure guesswork, these techniques are very much easy to use, and reasonably it also gives accurate estimates. And two popular methods we have studied, that was one was the expert judgment and another is the Delphi estimation technique. So first let us study the expert judgment method. Up to this, anyone has any query? Have you understood, yes or no? So, expert judgment method, it is a widely used size estimation technique. And in this technique, what happens is an expert, so an expert, he makes an educated guess about the problem size. After analyzing the problem thoroughly. So usually what happens is the expert, he estimates the cost of the different components that would make up the system, uh, and then he combines these estimates for the individual modules in order to arrive at the overall estimate. So if my problem is made up of three separate modules, he will first try to estimate the cost of individually three separate modules, then he will do a sum up of this cost together to arrive at the overall cost estimate. So even if this technique suffers from several shortcomings, obviously it will suffer from several shortcomings because it is just a guess and work procedure, right? So, but the outcome of this expert judgment technique is definitely subject to human errors, and it is also subject to individual bias because two experts are there. It may happen that their views do not match, or someone is someone's comment is this module will take 2 rupees, another's comment can be this module will take 4 rupees. So due to this individual what will I say, individual uh, different individual perception, and also due to human errors, it is also possible that the outcome of this technique is subject to human errors. And it is also possible that an extra expert, he may overlook some factors, like not forcefully but inadvertently he is overlooking some factors. And also an expert, while making an estimate, so he may not have some relevant experience and knowledge of all the aspects of the project. So suppose for example, if I talk, he may be uh, fluent with database, he may be fluent with user interface parts, but he may not be that much knowledgeable about computer communication part. So due to this factor also, that is the relevant experience or knowledge in all aspects of the project, we cannot expect from an expert. So due to these several factors like human errors, different individuals will have different perceptions, different experts can have expertise in different domains. So the size estimations which is arrived at by the judgment of a single expert, it may be far for being accurate. So if I am relying on a single expert, due to these problems it may happen that the estimation which I am getting as a result, it is far from being right. Okay. So a more refined form of expert judgment is that the estimation must be made by a group of experts. Okay. So instead of relying on one expert solely, it is better this estimation, it is made by a group of experts, and then the chances of errors arising from the issues such as individual oversight, of lack of familiarity with a particular aspect of a project, or personal conception difference in the conceptions. So these things can be overcome. So if a group of people are there, we will discuss our opinions, we will discuss with each other, and then we will arrive at a conclusion. So when we all know that everything, estimation or answers or results or experiments, when it is discussed by few people of the same domain, when they are having the same knowledge expertise, then obviously the output is better. So all we always try to emphasize in our daily life also this discussion thing. Discuss it with your seniors, discuss it with your friends, discuss it with your juniors. Why do we give so much importance on discussion? Because discussion always helps us to arrive at a good result. Okay. So this obviously will help to get us a better result. But however, still, uh, since this group also can exhibit some biasing, so still chances of bias will always be there, because on certain issues the entire group of experts may be biased due to some reasons arising some out of some political or social consideration. Suppose some company, he has some political issue, so the group of people which he hired, they all are supporter of that political part. So they may also say, on the majority of the group, they say no, no, this project is not viable, this is so on. So due to some political or social consideration, also some biasing may take place. And another shortcoming, even if we apply this group of experts, is that decision made by a group is already dominated by assertive members, people who are more vocal, people who can raise their voice more, who can establish their things more. Some people are timid in nature, some people are outspoken in nature. So the people who are more assertive, they will dominate the decision of this group. So even if first we started with a single expert, then problems were there, then we went on to the decision of a group of experts, still some problems are there. So even if we change to a group of experts, still some problem may remain in this expert judgment method of finding out the project size cost estimation. Okay. Next is the Delphi cost estimation method. So next is the Delphi cost estimation. So this Delphi cost estimation technique, it tries to overcome some of the shortcomings of the expert judgment approach. So this Delphi cost estimation, it is carried out by a team which comprises a group of experts and a coordinator. So this is carried out by a team where there is a group of experts plus coordinator. So in this approach, what happens? The coordinator, he provides each estimator, that is each panel member or group each expert of the group, with a copy of the SRS document. So the coordinator, he gives a copy of the SRS document to every expert in the group. Okay. So the coordinator, he will provide each estimator with a copy of the SRS document and a form for recording his cost estimate. So he will give a copy plus he will give a form to record his estimate. So suppose if 5 experts are there in my group, 5 copies of SRS documents will be given individually, 5 forms will be given individually to record their estimates after studying the SRS document. So the estimators, they will complete their individual estimates and they will submit them to the coordinator. And in their estimates, the estimators will mention any unusual characteristics of the product which has influenced their estimation. So how they have arrived at the estimation, if they have seen any unusual characteristics, all these things they will write in the form, and then they will individually write it in the form separately, and they will submit it to the coordinator. They will not discuss among themselves. They will apply their own knowledge. It's like giving an exam. You are given a book to study. You study your book accordingly, and accordingly you prepare your own notes. And after preparing the notes, you submit it to the teacher. Okay. So the coordinator then, he will prepare the summary of the responses of all the estimators, and he will conclude whether any unusual characteristics has been noted by any of the estimators. Okay, so after everyone has submitted to the coordinator, he will sum up the results. So the coordinator, he will prepare the summary of the responsibles, and he will will say if there is any unusual characteristics which is noted by any of the estimators or any of the expert panel members. So now this prepared summary information is again distributed to the estimators. This summary is again distributed. So it is again distributed to the estimators, and based on this summary, the estimators again, they re-estimate. If needed, they will again re-estimate. So this process is repeated several rounds, but however, there is no discussion among the estimators which is allowed during this entire estimation process. So discussion is not allowed. So first what happens, a group of expert estimators are there, a coordinator is there. The coordinator will give a copy, each of individual experts a copy of the SRS document, and they will give a form to fill up. They will individually write down or record their own estimates. They will submit it to the coordinator. The coordinator will take some time to sum up, summarize all the results. So after he has summarized all the results in one document, he will again distributed to the estimators, so that if some correction is needed, if some point is noted down by some other estimator and several others are not in favor, so they can write that why are they not in favor, or they can say that yes, this can be included. So again it is re-estimated. So this procedure, it goes on, and it, during this entire procedure, no discussion is allowed among the different estimators. So the purpose behind this restriction of this discussion is that if any discussion is allowed among the estimators, then the estimators, many of the estimators, they may easily get influenced by some assertive estimators who may be more experienced or more maybe more senior. So he will say, I am more senior, I have more knowledge, you follow this. And some other who are timid person, they will say, okay, okay, fine, he's saying that he has more knowledge, okay, okay, fine, I will redo my work. So due to this fact that no such influence should be there, discussions are not allowed. And after the completion of several rounds of estimations and re-estimations, the coordinator, he takes the responsibility of compiling the results and preparing the final estimate. So the coordinator, he will compile the result after several rounds and prepare final estimate. Okay, so this Delphi cost estimation, even though it takes more time and effort, but it overcomes an important shortcoming of the expert judgment method, that it that the results, they cannot be unjustly influenced by overly assertive and senior members of the panels. No one can influence any other person's results. Each and every panel member, they will be preparing their own estimates, they will be doing their own knowledge, they will be applying their own knowledge. Then no one can influence anyone. So this was the major shortcoming of the expert judgment method, which was overcome in Delphi cost method, that is, influence is not acceptable, biasing is not acceptable. Okay, so is this entire method, these two methods under empirical estimation technique, is it clear? Yes or no? Is it clear? Yes or no? ये देखो, कुछ बोलोगे नहीं तो पता कैसे चलेगा? इज इट क्लियर? यस और नो? Anyways, I will share the attendance first and then we will continue. Okay, so everyone please mark your attendance. Okay, so is there anyone who has not been able to mark the attendance? Is there anyone who has not been able to mark the attendance? Okay. Okay. So, the next is the heuristic estimation technique. So under this heuristic estimation technique, we studied that two methods are there. One is of single variable. If the single variable method is there, which means that it is a COCOMO model, and if it is multivariable, it is intermediate COCOMO model. So let us first study the COCOMO model. So how does this COCOMO model gain its name? So CO for constructive, CO for cost, this CO and this CO, and this MO means model. Okay. So the COCOMO model has gained its name from constructive cost estimation model, and it was proposed by Boehm. Okay, by the famous scientist Boehm it was proposed. And this COCOMO model, it prescribes a three-stage process for project estimation. It describes a three-stage process for project estimation. Okay, so less than 2-3 minutes are remaining. So let us not start with this topic today, as we will be needing, at least I will be needing 30 minutes to explain this entire procedure at one stage. So fine, we will meet in the next class too, and we will start it from here, from the best.